All right, welcome to a new episode of the Opening Bid Unfiltered podcast. I'm Yahoo Finance Executive Editor Brian Sozzi here at the NASDAQ. And like I always say, this podcast will make you a smarter investor, period. And we got a new guest on the podcast. He's not returning. This is his first time at the round table here at the NASDAQ. That is Stitch Fix CEO Matt Baer. Good to see you, man.
Yeah, good to see you as well. Thanks for having me on.
So what is it like turning around a company like Stitch Fix?
Working at Stitch Fix has been awesome. I joined just over 2 years ago, and we've initiated this massive transformation effort. We're rooted in rationalizing our business, building our business back, and now we're deeply embedded in the growth phase of our business. And it's been a great experience to truly realize the vision that Stitch Fix was born with almost 15 years ago, that clients just have this really challenging experience shopping for apparel, and that through technology and innovation, we can create a better shopping experience for them. And now we're fully realizing that vision and restaking our claim as the most innovative retailer in apparel.
All right, Matt, so before you joined Stitch Fix, the company was undergoing it was a tough time. The stock was under pressure, leadership changes, layoffs were happening. What made you say, okay, I want to take this job, I'm an accomplished professional, I need to come in here and try to save Stitch Fix?
The original vision of Stitch Fix was that traditional shopping for apparel is broken. And the data today really supports that. You've got less than 10% of people that enjoy shopping for apparel in person. Less than 15% enjoy shopping for apparel online. And at Stitch Fix, we have leading technology and innovation paired with human stylists that can provide a superior level of experience for our customers. And I was very excited to bring that vision to life in new and more meaningful ways. And we've been hard at work the last 2 years transforming the business and making sure that we have now restaked our claim as the leading innovator in apparel retail.
I'm a big believer with turnarounds. The eventual turnaround, should it happen, really starts within the first 6 months of a new leader coming in. What did you do that first 6 months to help set you up for some of the signs of improvement that are now happening?
I started my onboarding even before I started in the job. As a candidate, I put together a client focus group of current Stitch Fix clients. I wanted to get to know the clients intimately. I wanted to understand, why did they join Stitch Fix? What do they love about Stitch Fix? And in some instances, why are they no longer visiting Stitch Fix for their apparel needs? And I took that client centricity, that client obsession with me every single day the first 6 months I was on the job. We put together focus groups. I immersed myself with the clients, and I really wanted to understand the foundation of where they were finding pain points in traditional retail and where Stitch Fix could really lean in order to improve on those experiences. And all of those insights have created the roadmap that's driven us over the last 2 years.
I share your sentiment that retail is broken. I go into some of these department stores, Matt, and look, I have to tell you this, you were at Macy's. But I go into these department stores and there's nobody there. I can't get customer service. And then I have Levi's trying to sell me, 15 different styles of jeans. None of them fit me. It's confusing.
Traditional retail is tough right now. You could walk endlessly around a mall. You could walk endlessly around a cavernous department store. You absolutely can't find someone that's going to help you style you, tell you what the latest styles or trends are, and then good luck finding someone even to ring you out.
So it's true. It's really true.
It's absolutely true. On the train ride in this morning, I just went to another retailer's website and I searched for black dress. I got over 6,500 results. If you go to Stitch Fix, we are going to only show you black dresses in your style that will fit you and that are within your budget. We're creating convenience at every single moment of the customer journey, and that's one of the many ways that we're creating a superior service for our customers.
Maybe I can channel your prior career here. You were a chief customer and digital officer at Macy's. How do you see the world of internet shopping changing outside of where you're sitting now at Stitch Fix?
So the customer has been loud and clear with what they want. They want convenience and they want personalization at scale. And I think about the entirety of my experience going back to the golden age of retail, where if my grandfather walked into a tailor in South Bend, Indiana, he was going to be met with someone that knew him personally, they knew his family, they knew the community he was immersed in. He also knew what was in his closet, what size he was, and what his style preferences were. That is dead in shopping today and in retail today, except at Stitch Fix, where we pair you with a human stylist that gets to know you intimately, that understands all of your style preferences, all of your budget constraints, and understands what product is going to fit you exceptionally well. And it's really cool to just see under the covers how deep these relationships are between our clients and stylists. Often it's our stylists that are the first to find out if a client is pregnant or if their son is getting married, or maybe they just planned a surprise vacation where they're taking their spouse on a cruise. And it's those deep and enduring relationships that are underpinning why the service is so much better at Stitch Fix than anywhere else.
Is there too much choice on the internet when it comes to apparel?
At Stitch Fix, what we believe is that the ability to show clients only what matches their style, only what's going to fit them, and only what's within your budget just creates tremendous convenience for us. Convenience is one of the things that we're rooted in for our clients. If a client puts their family of 4 on Stitch Fix, we're going to save them conservatively 250 hours a year. That's time back in their lives that they can attend soccer games or dance recitals or scroll aimlessly on TikTok, whatever gets them excited, but it's not painstaking trips to the mall. It's not browsing endlessly online. It's just making sure that we're giving them time back for what matters most to them.
Are AI agents the stylists of the future?
We firmly believe at Stitch Fix that it's the pairing of technology and innovation along with the empathy and the understanding of a human stylist that's going to create the absolute best client experience. And we see our clients interacting with their stylists in many different ways. Some of our clients are much easier in terms of what they want to wear every single day. They're more uniform oriented. But at the same time, if they have a wedding coming up in Maine and they have no idea what the appropriate dress code is for that, they can then reach out and utilize their human stylist in order to tailor a collection of looks for them so that when they get to that wedding in Maine, they feel confident for every event that they have.
But I imagine, though, agents will change how the Stitch Fix experience happens. But even more broadly, retail. I mean, I was talking to a couple credit card executives, and they're at the point now where you can unleash these agents, and they just buy things for you, which for me, it's absolutely terrifying, but I see where they're going.
Every day at Stitch Fix, we're using technology in order to create better back-end experiences for our stylists, for our employees, and also to create better client-facing experiences as well. We recently launched something called Stitch Fix Vision, and that is a generative AI image visualization experience where a client sees themselves, sees their likeness in Stitch Fix apparel that then becomes shoppable. Let me give you a real example. So the shirt I'm wearing today, I saw that in my Stitch Fix Vision just last week. And then I flipped that to a new platform that we created called Stylist Connect, where I can have a real-time engagement with my stylist, Heather, and I told her about this interview.
It's a human, though. It's a human.
Yes, it's a human. And I told Heather about this interview, and now I had to look sharp on camera for this interview.
You look sharp. You do look sharp.
I appreciate that. So what she did is she took that shirt as inspiration. She created the whole outfit, sent it back to me in a generative AI image to show me that outfit, and I said, that's a perfect look. She loaded it into my cart, and it showed up at my house, and here I am. That's an experience and a level of convenience that can't be provided anywhere else, and it's that perfect marriage between innovative technology and that ability to engage with a human stylist.
What will that help you do in terms of the business, sales, profits, you name it?
So everything that we do is fundamentally about either improving that client experience or increasing engagement within that client experience. The reimagination of the overall experience, there's really 4 things at play: driving increased engagement, improving the client-stylist relationship, creating flexibility within our business model, and then critically improving the assortment that we sell. And each of those things is driving engagement, improving revenue for us. And you see that in the results that we most recently shared on our last earnings call. Our average order value has increased 8 consecutive quarters. It was up 12% in just the last quarter. The new client 90-day LTVs are at all-time highs for us, and we continue to improve the 90-day LTVs 8 consecutive quarters. So we're creating additional engagement, which is generating additional revenue for us.
I guess the knock on this model has been, there's a lot of costs in the business. I mean, you're taking a product, you're shipping it back and forth. What do you say to the naysayers on a company like Stitch Fix?
One of the reasons I was so excited about this opportunity from the beginning is the economics of this business. It's a business that's was generating before I joined in the high 20% contribution margins for us. The 2 years since I've joined, we increased that by over 500 basis points. We now have a contribution margin that's been above 30% for 6 consecutive quarters. I would challenge any other retail CEO to tell us what their digital contribution margin is, and that's what enables us to drive leverage through our business. And since we've returned to revenue growth, we can leverage that even further in the future.
So where does that come from? Are people spending more on the platform?
In terms of the improvements that we've made in our contribution margin, It comes from a variety of things. The first phase of our transformation was really to rationalize our business and institute additional efficiencies and retail best practices throughout our business. That really helped us improve our margins across the board. It's everything from the efficiencies within our warehouses to how we're flowing our inventory, how we have the best markdown cadence possible, all the way through the economics of the fixes themselves. One of the things that's really working well for us is we now have larger fixes, 6, 7, 8 items, and we're actually seeing clients that the more items we send them, the more items they keep. And that's, again, helping us drive leverage and improve profitability.
So that's the holy grail, though, to get them to keep the items and pay for them, right?
It is. We're also looking at the long-term client relationship that we have. And because our order economics are already so rich, we're focused on what's going to create the best client experience over a long period of time. We want to retain our clients. We want to make sure that our clients don't have any reason to shop anywhere else. A good example of that is the improvements we've made to our assortment. We've really leaned into non-apparel categories like footwear, handbags, hats, scarves, belts, to ensure that our clients can meet any and all of their apparel and accessories needs from Stitch Fix. In the most recent quarter, we had sneakers up 100% year over year.
So you're getting sneakers from all the top brands?
We are. We have a really robust selection of sneakers that we're proud of, and we'll continue to move brands in as we see opportunities there. We just recently launched Birkenstock as a great example of that.
Wow. Interesting. All right, hang with us, Matt. We're going to go off for a very short break. We'll be right back on Opening Bid Unfiltered. All right, welcome back to Opening Bid Unfiltered here at the NASDAQ in Times Square, talking with Stitch Fix CEO Matt Baer. Good to see you here, Matt. You have an interesting, your board. You have the founder, Katrina Lake, on your board, and you have Bill Gurley on your board. Let's go one by one. What is it like working with a founder, and how do you just find your own lanes in trying to grow the company?
I find Katrina incredibly inspiring. She's been a very passionate leader of this business and within this space. She's been very supportive of me, and we work very closely together in order to steer the future of Stitch Fix. Similarly with Bill, it's awesome to have his perspective in the boardroom.
OG tech executive right there.
He's current tech executive. Yeah. He's bringing in all of the inspiration that we need in order to ensure that we have the most innovative roadmap and that we continue to challenge ourselves every day, that we are on the cutting edge of technology in order to create the absolute best client experience.
And Bill Gurley has probably seen every business model known to man and woman. What are some tough questions he has asked you?
Yeah. Well, with Bill, one of the things that I love too is he's a dedicated and devoted Stitch Fix client. He gets all of his apparel from Stitch Fix. So the feedback that you get from Bill isn't just the technology and the innovation, but it's really rooted in the client experience itself. And it's because he knows that business so intimately that he's able to give us not just high-level guidance and inspiration, but he's able to really help ensure that we're tailoring that technology and innovation to meet the client where they are and that what's most relevant for Stitch Fix. And you see that within our product roadmap. When we launch a new feature or when we innovate a client experience, we want to make sure that that is seamlessly integrated across the board. It's not just a shiny bell or whistle off to the side. It's something that's really helping to create the end-to-end client experience and make that even better.
Speaking of product roadmap, so I get this visualization tool. It makes sense to me. I think it will help your business. Like next year, where are you putting your bets? You have a ton of cash on your balance sheet. Like where are the investments going?
So we believe that being the leader for personalized commerce is the future for us. And we're going to continue to innovate on those same 4 pillars that I talked about earlier. So how are we creating greater engagement with our clients? How are we taking Stitch Fix vision and bringing that to life even more meaningfully? We also released recently an AI style assistant, which is a generative AI conversational tool where clients, one of the #1 pieces of frustration or challenge that they had is they can't express themselves when it comes to style and trend. So we created this experience which has really improved their ability to communicate with their stylist, and we're going to continue to find opportunities to leverage both the image generative AI visualization as well as the conversational AI throughout the experience.
So folks are just yelling, hey, this shirt doesn't fit me. Get it off me.
Yeah, well, it's hard. For people that are rooted in the industry, talking about style and trend is something that comes naturally. For an everyday person, it's actually quite challenging to express what you want to look like or how you want to make sure that you show up at work. So I style clients all the time. I have this one client, she's in her 60s, lives in San Francisco, she's a professional, and her goal is to make sure that when she goes to work, she looks like she is on trend or in style appropriately. And there are times where that's a little bit challenging for her to convey that to me, and I'm forced to read between the lines. She's now using this AI style assistant, and it's become just so abundantly clear why she joined Stitch Fix, how I can help her, and now I'm creating even better fixes for her going forward.
So you're actually personally styling people?
Every day, yes. I love styling for clients. It helps me, again, get really close to our clients, helps me understand the tools that our stylists use, the back-end systems, and how our experience ultimately shows up for our clients.
You have an interesting story. Didn't your family, weren't they in the furniture business?
My family's still in the furniture business.
Still in the furniture business.
Still in the furniture business. Baer's Furniture is celebrating their 80th anniversary.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
They deserve a lot of credit, especially my brother David. He's helping to modernize the business from the inside, and they've had a lot of success now in the 4th generation.
What was it like working in a family business?
I loved it. It wasn't until I was older that I realized how unique and beneficial that experience was. But it taught me a lot. When your name is on the door, you understand how you have to show up for your clients every single day. You always have to understand what are their needs, how can you take care of them, and how can you provide the absolute best level of service possible in every interaction. If we had a 4th of July sale, I wasn't out with my friends. I was in the showroom as a young kid, meeting clients at the door and helping sell them a bedroom set. And that lives with me today in order to make sure that I'm embedded with our clients, understanding their unique needs and how we can make sure that we're building the right experiences to satisfy them.
I mean, family business, what are some wisdoms your parents passed on to you through the years?
I think that client centricity is the most important piece of it, is that you always have to understand where your client is. I think there's also something to be learned around having the right patience. Building a retail business is something that happens over time, and you see that coming through in our transformation, both the client centricity of it, but also that clear step-by-step progression. First, you have to rationalize the business, build it back, and now when we're in the growth phase, we're clearly playing offense, and we've gained market share the last 2 quarters and intend to continue to do so.
How did you become a great styler? I mean, you're in furniture.
Yes, trial and effort. You just get in there and work the tools, learn the systems, everything you can do to immerse yourself with the physical product, with the stylist community. And it's the same is true for anything else in business. If you apply yourself and really work hard and learn, you're going to get there. And we're actually a little competitive internally in terms of who has the best styling metrics. And
it's you, of course.
Yeah.
Is it any surprise that you're on Lazy Boy's board? Considering where you grew up and what you did?
I remain really passionate about the home industry. It's a great opportunity for me to stay close, and it's a phenomenal brand that I get to experience and work with now.
I mean, at a high level, how is the furniture industry going to change, given the focus on changing supply chains? We have tariffs. How does that, if I can get into your head for a second, because not very often I get to talk to somebody who literally stocked shelves in a furniture company before.
Yeah. The similarities are there across both apparel and the home categories. The clients are deserving or asking for a more personalized experience, and they're asking for an experience that creates more convenience for them, where we just understand their needs. So I think the same truths are there in both of the businesses, and I think the way that we are doing that at Stitch Fix would resonate equally within the home category.
Can we profitably make a sofa or recliner in the U.S.? Is that possible?
Of course it's possible. I think what's important is how do you communicate value back to your clients. So that's something that, again, at Stitch Fix we're very passionate about, making sure that the clients understand the value of the service that we offer, the convenience that we're creating for them, the fact that we're delivering style and trend to their doorstep, the fact that we know when they need replenishment from the cashmere sweater that they bought 2 years ago is ready for a refresh. And as we do that, we create more value within the experience, within the service, and that enables us to build these deep and enduring relationships.
Hot take section, no questions planned for this one. If you weren't doing this, what would you be doing?
My current passion outside of work is coaching rec sports.
Really?
I have a son, Jack, he's 8 years old. I'm coaching his flag football team. I have a son, Lucas, he's 6 years old. I'm coaching his soccer team. And I think there's a lot of similarities in terms of leading a business and getting these kids in order to perform every day. I absolutely love it. And that's something where I think I'd be really happy.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because we recently had former NFL tight end Greg Olson on the podcast.
Sure.
And he launched an amazing new website called Youth Inc. You got to check it out. I mean, it's an amazing portal looking at how to help kids grow in sports. Like, how have you helped them in their sporting career? And what do you? I know how sports were taught to me. We don't have enough time to talk about like how certain things were drilled into me, but like how do you do it as a parent and a leader and a business leader?
Keep in mind they're 8 years old, 6 years old,
yeah.
but it's the same is true in business. You have to get to know everyone intimately. What are the individual motivation? What motivates the individual? What are they trying to achieve? And then how can you help them achieve that? And we do that with our leadership team today and with the collective of our leadership group is what are the things we're trying to achieve, and then how do we go out there as a team and make sure that we can get that. And it's one of the things that makes me so confident about the future of Stitch Fix. We have the right team, we have the right strategy, and we've proven that together we can execute at the highest level.
I just realized I am not as fast as I used to be, so I would have no chance on that flag football field. Stitch Fix CEO Matt Baer, good to see you, man. Good luck on this
thank
turnaround.
you.
Good to see the green shoots.
Appreciate it.
Appearing in the business. All right, that's it for the latest episode of Opening Bid Unfiltered. Like I always say, continue to hit us with all the love on YouTube and the social media channels. I read it all, and it makes me better at doing this. Talk to you soon.